Welcome to the Vernon Hills Update. The update offers information about a variety of village services. You'll meet a few of your neighbors and you'll find out about upcoming events. On today's show, we'll learn about this year's low-cost pet vaccination and microchip clinic, planned for Saturday, April 28th at the Vernon Hills Public Works Department. We'll get a quick update on how residents can obtain a permit for extended overnight parking. We'll meet the 2017 Vernon Hills Queens and hear about their activities this past year and find out how to sign up to be in this year's pageant. We'll stop by the Vernon Hills Police Department for a warning about popular scams and for a reminder that the IRS will never call you and ask for money. Just hang up the phone. We'll visit with Christ Lutheran Preschool, which has been serving children and families throughout the community for 25 years. And we'll find out information about the village's reactivation of the Skunk Abatement program. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.
We are at the Vernon Hills Police Station in the training room with Officer Lon Pulowski, and it's always a good story to do this time of year because you're getting ready to work again for the low-cost pet vaccination microchip clinic. This is a great thing. It's been a great service.
Yes, it is. I really enjoy it. This is, I believe, the 6th or 7th year we've done this. We had it at Public Works. So this year it's going to be on April 28th. It's a Saturday. They're from 9 to 12. You can get there a little early. You just have to wait in line until it opens, but we do allow people to get in line early.
And it's one of those things, it isn't like you make a vet appointment. You stand in line, and then you have access to the vets and the vet techs, and they do your typical vaccinations that you're supposed to get every year.
That's correct. There's a line, but that line moves really quickly. And for those people who actually are maybe disabled or have a really incorrigible animal, if you let us know when we come in, you can actually park closer and the vet will come out to you.
Oh, really? So if you've got any, you can let somebody know, and then they'll come to the car, so you don't have to be in that line with everybody else and their animals.
Yeah, that's for basically the disabled and for animals that are just going to go nuts with other animals around.
I know animals like that, so I love animals like that. So when we talk about that too, you want pets on leashes, or like a cat should be in a cage, things like that.
Correct. The dogs have to be on leashes. Cats have to be in a carrier of some sort.
And you'd like animals to be a little bit older, not for the babies.
Correct. I believe it's 4 months for the Lake County is requiring.
Well, and that is the requirement. So as we're talking about it, it's a requirement to have the annual rabies vaccine. They also give the distemper. And one of the things that's really spectacular is they do the microchipping, which you guys, especially in your line of work, as you're picking up strays and bringing them in, you see the value of the microchip. Can you tell what a microchip is?
Microchip is a small item. It's about the size of a grain of rice. In fact, I have one here, right here. What it is it's embedded into the back of the animal. Then we have a microchip reader. It gives us a number. We call the company that embedded it, and we find out who the animal belongs to, and we can have the animal back home within a half hour.
Well, in that when they put the chip in, it's not much different than giving the vaccination because it just goes in with the needle and it's in the fat of the back and they don't feel anything.
Correct. They don't feel anything more than just a normal vaccination.
And when you talk about microchipping and the value there too, I know you said it's always good if you've had your animal microchipped, maybe go in and check your profile to make sure that that information is there or it's up to date, because sometimes you do have to wait till the vet's office opens otherwise.
That's correct. If we pick up an animal and we scan it, we get the number, we call the microchip company, whatever company it is. They'll find out the last known registrar of it. Now that may be the animal hospital, or that might be the owner if the owner is registered with them. The difference is if we pick up an animal at night, the animal hospital is closed. So we have to wait till the next day to find out who the owner is.
But still, it's still a lot better than a dog being lost in with you for a long time. So it's a very easy thing, and it's more and more people are doing it.
Correct. It's a very nice thing to get the dogs back to the owner.
Well, and let's talk about this. It's inexpensive because for your pet microchip clinic, you can have a microchip inserted for $15.
Correct, $15. That's big savings from what the vets will give you.
Not to disparage our vets, but I mean, this is really here to help people so they can take good care of their pets, especially when times are tough, save a little money. Let's talk about the cost for the other things. For instance, there is a difference in price. The Lake County Animal Care and Control wants to see animals spayed and neutered. So if an animal's spayed and neutered, they'll do these services cheaper, so that you get a discount there.
You get a good discount with them. It's about $40 less if you have the animal spayed or neutered. It's $20 for the rabies vaccine, $25 if you include the distemper, and you got to figure that's going to be a lot cheaper than any vet will do.
Yeah. And even so, if your animal isn't spayed and neutered, you can still come and get like the rabies vaccine in the Lake County 1-year tag for $60. That's still a good value. It's still a great thing. But again, we want to see the animals spayed and neutered because we have plenty of animals, and the shelters are full of animals that we can all adopt. So.
Yeah, that's correct. That's like Bob Barker always said: get your animals spayed or neutered.
Exactly. So again, this is coming Saturday, April 28th, over at Public Works, which is on Greenleaf Drive. So it's easy. If it's raining or anything like that, everybody can be kind of inside in the bay there, so you're away from the elements.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, we'll move it as far as we can into the bay when the elements are there, so that people aren't standing outside for very long.
Well, and like we said before, you've been doing this for years. Literally hundreds of people have brought their pets here, and everybody's always happy with the result.
Yeah, the numbers are about 300 or so every year. Sometimes they go up, and just about every year they go up.
Well, it's important to take care of our pets. This is a really good way to do it. There is more information online. You can always go to Lake County Animal Care and Control. They'll explain to you what you need to do as a pet owner, like what the rules are. You know, why do you have to have the rabies tag and things like that. So there's places to get more information. And as we talk about what we do here in Vernon Hills, we know you've got the scanner that you can read the chips, the microchips and everything. But you are kind of the people that go out, and if there's a stray animal or a hurt animal, oftentimes you're the one that goes out and gathers the animal in and tries to figure out where they belong, and sometimes they end up with you for a little while. You've got some shelter space here.
Yeah, that's correct. We if we don't have a microchip or don't have identification right away, we do keep them overnight, and we put them back in our kennel. And this year we're asking if anybody has used blankets or towels. If you want to donate them, you can. What we're looking for is just bedding for the animals for the night. And we say use because we're going to throw them out right after. We don't have any washing facilities, and we don't want to transfer diseases to animals.
So really, it can be a ratty old towel, but it can have a good second life here for bedding for one of the animals.
Absolutely. It doesn't make a difference the condition. If it could be laundered, that would be great.
A little bit clean to start, and then really dirty by the time they're done. So, and how can they just drop them off over here at the civilian side of the police station?
Yeah, just come in. We're here 24 hours a day. If they're in a bag or whatever, you just tell whoever's at the window, hey, I'm dropping these off, and they'll get them to me the next day.
Wonderful. Thank you for taking care of all the animals, even the ones, especially the ones that are a little sad. We don't know where they go yet. So that's information about the April 28th pet clinic. Thank you for taking care of that. People can go online for more information, but the most important thing is if you need services, like there they are, convenient as all get out.
That's correct. And anybody can come in. Lake County will register any animal. They'll only give Lake County tags, but if you say in Kenosha and they accept foreign tags, you can get the same price here as you would for over there.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to show you're from Vernon Hills or Lake County or anything, so it's a great service for everybody around here. So tell your friends.
Correct.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Thanks for taking the time. Thank you for heading this up so we can have this event again, and we'll take care of the animals, Stu. We'll help you do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Kim Christensen with the Vernon Hills Police Department's Crime Prevention Unit. As most residents know, for many years the village has had an ordinance which prohibits parking on a village street from 2 a.m. to 6 p.m. There is also a system in place where you can request temporary parking permission. Now, to assist those residents whose unique circumstances require an increase in on-street parking, there is now a permit system in place where you can request additional parking permission. The best thing to do is visit our websites. You can go to vhpd.com or vernonhills.org to learn about it. There are rules and eligibility requirements, and there is an application process that must be followed. Additional information can also be obtained by calling our records section. That number is 847-247-4896. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Hannah Fry. I'm one of the Vernon Hills Pageant directors along with Cassie Horvath and Michelle Newman. I'm here with the 2017 Vernon Hills Queens, and we're here to talk today about the year that they've had and how you can become a pageant contestant for this year. So if you all could get started and just tell me a little bit about yourself, where do you go to school, what grade you're in, and your name obviously as well.
Hi, my name is Leah Cleek. I'm 7 years old. I'm in 2nd grade. I go to Hawthorne Townline Elementary, District 73, and I want to be Little Miss Vernon Hills so that I can represent my community and go to different events.
Hi, I'm Linnea Gutierrez. I'm in 6th grade and I'm 11 years old. I go to St. Mary's School in Buffalo Grove, and I wanted to be preteen Miss Vernon Hills because I wanted to go to all the events and meet some sister queens.
Hi, my name is Madison Chiarello. I'm 15 years old. I'm a freshman at Vernon Hills High School, and I wanted to become Junior Miss Vernon Hills because I had so much fun when I was Little Miss Vernon Hills, and I couldn't wait to represent my community again.
Hello, I'm Brianna Balatin. I'm 18 years old. I'm a senior at Vernon Hills High School, and I wanted to be Miss Vernon Hills. I've been Little Miss and Junior Miss before, and I had so much fun, so I couldn't wait to come back as Miss Vernon Hills.
So Linnea, you'd mentioned kind of the sister queen aspect of the year, right? So you all get to spend a lot of time together. What's that experience like? How have you all gotten to know each other throughout the year?
It's a lot of fun. I know that Maddie hates fireflies, and Bree hates fireflies, and Maddie likes them. And Leah's just really creative and so sweet, and they're all really nice, and we spend a lot of time together. And yesterday we got our nails done, and we went to Olive Garden, and it was a lot of fun.
Excellent. Anything else about what's it been like getting to have, 3 sister queens this year to spend the year with?
This year it was a little different. We have 4 Vernon Hills Queens this year, so having 3 little sisters is so much fun. We're always dancing and laughing together, taking pictures, of course. We just have so much fun when we're together.
Excellent. So it sounds like you've had a pretty busy year then. So what kinds of things have you gotten to do all together?
Yeah, we've been all around Vernon Hills and Lake County. Some of the events that we participated in Vernon Hills was the 4th of July parade, the fishing derby,
A lot of other ones. Yeah. We did we made blankets for the pad shelter. We had all of the Lake County queens come to Vernon Hills, and we all just hung out and made blankets for the pad shelter, and then we ended up donating it, and that was a lot of fun.
The fishing derby was my favorite event because we got to pick up the fish and weigh them, and we would take the buckets back to the people who were fishing them, and I got to call out the prizes of the people who won the biggest catch. And
I liked the 4th of July parade because I got to toss candy to people and ride on the float, and it was just really fun.
Excellent. So with such a busy year, are you all involved in school stuff as well? Do you do extracurricular activities, and how do you balance all of that?
Yeah, I do ballet and hip hop, and I also do voice lessons, and I go to orchestra and play violin.
Wow.
I love to cheer, and I love bouncing on the trampoline, and I like to hang out with my friends outside, and it's fun.
So I was on my varsity cheer team this year, and that was a lot of fun. That, of course, took a really big, that was a really big part of my life for a very long time. That was something that was my priority, and that was really fun, and I'm happy to have that experience.
And you were able to balance both the pageant and varsity cheer with all
Yeah,
together?
I would say it was kind of hard, but overall I was able to do it.
Excellent.
I work after school every day and on the weekends sometimes. And I'm also really involved with my church youth group, and I'm on the leadership team there, so pretty busy with that, but I could work out the schedules and make it all work.
Sounds good. So this doesn't have to be like your entire life for the year, right? You can do this and other fun stuff as well. Excellent. So some of these events, it sounded like, had some sort of impact on the community. So can you talk a little bit about that and the impact you think you've had on the community this year?
The events that we've attended or helped out at have all been for the whole community, not just like few people can come or whatever. So like the 4th of July parade and fireworks, like the whole community can go watch the parade and catch candy, and then the fireworks they can go and watch as a whole family. And other events that the Park District hosts, like the they didn't have it this year, but the pumpkin launch and the Worldwide Day of Play, that's just for the whole community, not just for the Queens to come and hang out and take pictures, but we get to help the Park District and other people that come to join.
Excellent.
So like what Brianna said, the events that we do are really just for the whole community, and in doing that, especially me, I've gotten to just meet a lot of new people, and then I get to spend time with these three, and it's just so much fun.
Sounds good. So for those of you who have done the pageant before, let's talk about the pageant a little bit. For those of you who have done it before, what kept you coming back? Because we've seen some of your faces around before a little bit. So why did you keep competing?
Well, what brought me back is I was Little Miss Vernon Hills in 2011, and that was so much fun. I loved being the Little Miss and being able to play with all the kids, but now I'm a junior miss, and now I'm more of a role model, and I really wanted to be that kind of role model because my miss and my junior miss, when I was Little Miss, they had such a big impact on my life, and I just wanted to do the same thing.
So I've been Little Miss and Junior Miss before. I'm still in touch with my queens from those 2 years, so they really, whenever I see them, oh my gosh, hey, how are you? It's so much fun. But also, like Maddie said, she got to play with the kids when she was little, but more of a role model, and I think that's really important. So as a miss now, I'm the tough, so people see, oh, the big girl is involved, and that's who they look up to. I know even before I was Little Miss and before I was Junior Miss, I always looked up to the Miss, oh, I want to be Miss Vernon Hills someday. So here I am, and it's been such a great time.
There you are. And Linnea, you've been involved in the pageant for several years as well. So can you share a little bit about your experiences competing?
My sister actually got me started, Madeline Gutierrez, and the first year I was 6 years old, and during the pop question, I ran off the stage. But it was so much fun, and it was a great experience, and I just wanted to keep doing it, and I loved it.
Sounds good. So what do you have to do to prepare for the pageant?
Well, you just have to get a dress, practice and memorize your speech, and be outgoing so that you're at your interview, the judges know what you're like.
Anybody else want to add anything about what the parts of the pageant are?
Yeah. Well, we have our interview portion, which is one with the judges, and then we have our speech topic, which is different for Little, Junior, and Miss, and then you have your pop question, which is also different. And you might think those things are kind of hard, but it's actually really, really fun. I've learned to just love being on stage, and I think it's so much fun.
And along with practicing for the pageant, it's not just for the pageant. These are skills you'll use your entire life. So in an interview, when you go and interview for a job, you're going to know what to do and know how to act. And then public speaking, if you have to talk, give a presentation in class or at a job, the speech and pop question portion help with those skills as well.
Sounds good. So what advice would you give to girls who are thinking about competing?
I would say do it, obviously. It's so much fun. You get to meet so many new people, and even if you don't come out with the crown, you still have those memories with the other contestants getting ready and hanging out backstage and helping each other get dressed for each portion of the pageant. So it's such a fun time, and you might be a little stressed and a little nervous, but in the long run, you'll have such a great time.
I would say that from my experience, you just have to have a really big personality, and that goes a long way. And just being able to talk to people and just be able to have fun, I think that goes a long way.
Oh, I really like the pageant, and during the pageant, we get to wear really pretty dresses, which I really like, but it's not all about that. We get to go to the pool and hang out with each other and have pizza together, and it's a lot of fun.
If I were giving advice to another contestant who was competing, I would just say, just get out there, have fun, and even if, like Brianna said, even if you don't win the crown, you still have those friendships with the people you meet backstage and all the other contestants.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for being here today. We'll see you around town, and of course, we'll see you in June for the pageant. I'm now joined with my fellow pageant directors, Michelle Newman and Cassie Horvath. We're here to talk about the details of the pageant and again, how you can become a contestant. So let's talk about the pageant itself. There are 3 sections. So what are those 3 sections and how can contestants prepare?
Well, there's an interview portion to the pageant. There's a speech where contestants give a 30-second speech on stage. And there is a formal wear with a pop question on stage. Well, some of the ways that you can prepare are to just practice looking over your application. The interview is based completely on your application. And then you would write your own speech and you would deliver that speech. So you could practice giving a speech to your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister. And then just have people ask you random questions to prepare for the pop question portion of it. Nothing is meant to trick you. The judges are just trying to get to know who you are as an individual person.
And so applications, as we know, are due May 4th. So how do they get an application if someone wants one?
You can go on the Village of Vernon Hill website and pick up an application there, or you can pick one up, a hard copy at the Village Hall. They're upstairs in the front entryway when you first come in. Fill out the application, and it is due Friday, May the 4th, 5 p.m. Village Hall, and then the pageant month begins. We have a contestant meeting. The first contestant meeting will be Tuesday, May 15th. That's at the Sullivan Center. It is, we have divided for Little Miss, Junior, and Miss from 4:30 to 6 p.m. And it's kind of a just get to know everyone, as well as an informal discussion on what to expect on pageant day. Wednesday, June 13th at 5 p.m. is our rehearsal, and then afterwards, weather permitting, we head over to the Vernon Hills Pool. It's not mandatory, but everyone has a wonderful time. And then Saturday, June the 16th at 10 a.m., interviews start, and the pageant is to follow at 1 p.m. at the Sullivan Center.
Excellent. Are there other dates throughout the year that contestants should know about?
Well, there are a few events that we do with the village each year. The 4th of July parade, counting down the fireworks, summer celebration, and then we do various activities with the village and the park district throughout the year.
So after the Queens win at Vernon Hills, do they go on to anything else, or is that kind of where it ends for them?
February or March of the following year, they attend the Lake County, Illinois State Pageant. This year it was just a couple weeks ago, and it was held in Lake Forest. So next year in 2019, it will be, gosh, it's hard to believe, it will be held in February or March for that.
So who gets to compete at the Lake County, Illinois pageant?
Contestants in the pageant are queens from all over Lake County, so the surrounding communities in Lake County that have queens.
Excellent. And we have 3 age categories. So those age categories, we have Little Miss, Junior Miss, and Miss Vernon Hills. And the Little Miss contestants need to be at least 6 years old by the date of the pageant. And so it's 6 to age 9, and they can't turn 10 years old before January 1st, 2019. Our Junior Miss contestants, the age range is 10 to 15, so they need to be at least 10 by pageant date and can't turn 16 before January 1st, 2019. And then our Miss, the age range is 16 to 21, and they need to be 16 by pageant day and cannot turn 22 before January 1st, 2019. So thank you again, and we look forward to seeing everyone at the pageant on June 16th. Which is a Saturday, and we at 1 p.m. at the Sullivan Center. And applications again, if you'd like to get those in, are due Friday, May 4th at 5 p.m. to the Village Hall.
We are at the Village of Vernon Hills Police Station, and we're here with Kim Christensen to talk about scams. And at this time of the year, right now, we're hearing a lot about IRS scams, Kim. I guess we're all nervous about our taxes and tax time, and people prey on that.
Well, I hope not everybody's completely nervous about their taxes. Yes, IRS, those 3 little letters that pretty much are, you hear about them 12 months a year, but especially now since it's April, people are a little more aware of those initials, and those IRS scams, they go all year round. But the important thing to remember is if you pick up the phone and there's anything that leads you to believe that people are claiming they're from the IRS, even if you see it on the caller ID, don't believe it. Hang up. End of story right there.
Yeah, because the IRS is never going to call you. They're going to send you letters in the mail and things like that.
They'll reach out to you in an official way, but certainly if you originate, if a phone call comes to you that you didn't originate, and someone claims they're with the IRS, or they might give you an ID number, or sound very official and give you a title, and they tell you that you're going to go to jail, you're going to get sued, you're going to get deported, you're going to lose your driver's license, all those things because you owe back taxes. They want immediate payment, on and on and on. Hang up. Don't listen to their spiel. You have nothing to be afraid of by hanging up.
And we say that too because when you get those phone calls, sometimes those numbers look really official, but they can fake all that stuff.
The caller ID can be spoofed. These are the bad guys who do this are pretty good at their job. It can be spoofed. So I got an email just a week or 2 ago from a resident, very concerned because she had received one, and I could see it in the tone of her email that she came right out and said she was afraid. And, no reason to be afraid. All right, think about it. Just put the phone down, think about it for a minute. And if you're really concerned, call us, call somebody you know you trust, or just hang up on them. It'll be okay. Don't be afraid to hang up. There's nothing wrong with being rude and hanging up on those people.
Yeah, and oftentimes they do. They use that fear. They use that you've got to hurry and do it right now. They don't let you think. And you're saying, stop, hang up. And you guys, if we gave you a call, you could help talk us through that?
Absolutely. We want you to, if you get a call, one of these IRS scam calls, and you're concerned and you're scared, hang up, call 911, and we'll send somebody over to talk to you, or your person, or on the phone, or whatever it is to make you feel better. And the cons that do this, they're pretty shrewd. And I've heard stories where they'll call on a cell phone, and they will actually they'll want this victim to go to Walmart or wherever and pick up one of those prepaid cards, and that's how they want them to pay. Well, the IRS is going to ask for payment on back taxes or penalties with a card from Walmart. But they will keep the person on the cell phone. Actually, while the person's driving to the store, they don't want to lose touch with them because they don't want that person thinking about it. And I want the viewers to know, just hang up. You hear IRS, you hang up. And it can be that simple. But until those calls come in, everybody says they know what to do. And I've received them myself. And for a couple brief seconds, you start to think. All right.
That's the truth. They get your blood going. That's for sure. So, well, and you've got a lot of information on your website. There's a lot of places they talk about because these scams have lives of their own. They change. There's different there's different topics, there's different ways, but always just think twice or 3 times or more, especially if somebody wants money or wants to scare you.
You're absolutely right, Lynn. Thank you. There is even a new twist to the IRS scams in 2018, and that involves people that use a professional tax preparer. Well, they've found a way, some scammers have found a way to actually access and hack into tax preparers' information. And they might find out exactly how much your income tax refund is, and then they'll call you and say, hey, we want it back, it was a mistake or whatever from the IRS. And since they know the exact dollar amount, it's even more believable. So, I mean, there are a lot of different angles to it. The important thing is, again, you hear IRS, just hang up. It can be as simple as that.
Excellent. So that's scams. And that's the life of scams. Unfortunately, we're going to be talking about that for a long time.
Forever, never, never, I'm afraid. We live in a digital world, and because of that, we have the conveniences of a digital world, and sometimes we also have the risks and the vulnerabilities of a digital world.
Well, let's talk about something more in the physical world, I was going to say. I know you have a little concern right now because you've seen at least, one more where women don't put our purses or men don't put our cases where they should be. We've had a little, they get snagged away.
Yeah, it happens from time to time. We try to get the word out to people when you're in a busy restaurant, a crowded restaurant, whether it's lunchtime or dinner time. Be aware of when you're sitting down eating. And a common thing is for people to put purses on the chair behind them. And it's just vulnerable to somebody. And we had a case not too long ago again, and it does happen from time to time, where the woman saw something going on behind her, didn't think twice about it, and then before she knew what happened, her purse the wallet was taken, and with very, very shortly afterwards, the criminal's going to go to like the local store and start using the charge card before the victim discovers it missing. So please, do something else with your purse or your belongings. Don't hang it over the back of a chair. But if you have to put it on your lap, I know it's inconvenient, that's a safe thing to do.
Excellent. One more thing we always like to keep reminding people, as it's getting nice out, we're out in our yards, maybe we're leaving our garage doors open as we're waltzing around the neighborhood. You don't like that.
No, we don't like that at all. I mean, it's okay if you have to pull your lawnmower out and put your lawnmower back, but if you're in the house all day long or you're in the evening and the weather's warm, close it. Close it. It only takes, 10 seconds for somebody to go in here and steal a bicycle, golf clubs, or whatever they see. It's a temptation. We want to avoid the temptation. Please close it as much as you can.
So we'll close them, and we'll lock our cars because you like that.
That's always a good idea, too. Thank you very much for locking and keep the fob and the keys in with you. Don't leave them in the car all night long.
There you go. And we've talked about that before. It's harder with the fob because you can't always tell what all you got with you.
Yeah, but the bad guys know that, too. They go along if they can and rattle car doors, and if they get inside, they'll just hit that button for the ignition, and hey, look, it starts. The fob must be in there, so don't do it. Please make it a habit of keeping that thing with you and walking away from your car and make sure it locks.
Or you keep that extra fob in there you forgot about. You don't even know it, but they know to check for it.
Good point. Thank you.
Well, so you've always got a lot of good advice for us. So thank you for that. And we remember we'll go online, and if we see something or we're nervous about something, you guys are always there to help give us the good word about what's happening.
Absolutely. 911 if you have any concerns or questions about something, just pick up the phone and call 911. And while I'm on it, a great place to go and learn about all these cons and scams is the Federal Trade Commission, ftc.gov. That is a wonderful place. They have actually a system on there where you can be alerted and get emails to like the current scams and things. It's really fabulous information. So I encourage everybody to do that too. It's a good way to stay on top of all those scams, including the IRS scams.
Yeah, so we can read ahead so we're a little not surprised by them all when they came. Well, thanks for the time. Thank you for helping us out. Remember, if you're ever in doubt or you see something that looks weird or you hear something you don't like, call 911. They'll give you help. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. My pleasure.
We have come over to Christ Lutheran Church and Preschool, which has been a fixture in Vernon Hills in the neighborhoods for years. We're with Director Kathy Davis. And Kathy Davis, it has been years that Christ Lutheran has been here because it's a big anniversary coming up.
Yes, we're quite excited. It's our 25th anniversary, and we're going to be having an event to celebrate the 25 years that we've been here, and also to do some fundraising. We've been here the 25 years, and so we've got things like a playground fence and certain furniture that needs to be replaced, and we're just all excited to invite everyone from the community who's been a part of us over the last 25 years. We have collected all of our old directories, whether it's hard copy or on the computer, and trying to send out as many invitations as we can to let everybody know. So if anybody has any association with the church and preschool, we invite them to come join us. Tell your friends. If you have any memorabilia or pictures or anything, we'd love to see them.
That would be neat to see all that. And when we're talking the event, the actual event, even though this is kind of an ongoing celebration, send in your memorabilia, we'll share it online, is Saturday, May 5th over in Mundelein at the Doubletree, correct?
Yes, we had a celebration at our 10th year and our 15th, and we are going to have it May 5th, a Saturday, 6 to 10, have a sit-down dinner and silent auction, and just a chance to celebrate. Again, inviting past employees and families and students, and hopefully, as I say, just have a really good time and celebrate that time that we've been here.
When you think about it, 25 years. My kids came through here. They're pretty old now. I talk to other people. We talk about Christ Lutheran back in the day. This is really, it is housed by a church. It's a church ministry, but you've been a community preschool to Vernon Hills for people of all faiths or no faith. It's the community preschool part of it is what people have celebrated for 25 years, because there's been a lot of kids go through. Like, how many families, how many kids a year do you have?
Well, every year we have a maximum of 134, and so we pretty average around that 115, 20, 25. We usually use about, lose about 50% every year with graduation. So for 25 years, that does obviously add up. Have a lot of siblings. We ourselves, as a family, started as a preschool family, and so it's been wonderful to be part of the community. Obviously, we're in the neighborhood of Deer Path, and so we have a lot of families when we first started come from there, and we really are through word of mouth. We don't do a lot of publicity, and so, but we have become very multicultural over the last 5 or 6 years. This is my 6th year as director, and so we've seen a lot of changes that way, but we're still a Vernon Hills community preschool.
Well, and Vernon Hills is very multicultural, so that's it does reflect the village of Vernon Hills, and people do come from a little ways for here too, but it does reflect what we are today.
Definitely. As you say, multicultural, whether they live in Vernon Hills or not, or sometimes they start with us, and even though they've moved, they want to continue because of the community that we have here and that we foster.
When we talk about preschool, if you haven't been in that age group for a while, what is the age group that we're talking about? Because, you know, if you don't have kids or you never had kids yet, what is a preschool?
It's early learning before the formalized education in the public school or private. We start at 2.5, our TOT program, and we have anywhere from 2 days through 5 days, and then it goes up to 5-year-olds, but not kindergarten. In other words, they're turning 5 usually during that last school year. And we have a typical play-based traditional half-day preschool in the morning, and then we do offer some enrichment in the afternoon, especially since Hawthorne has gone to all-day kindergarten. Some of our parents will, like this time of year, start using some of those enrichment to have their day be a little bit longer, so that they start getting used to the full-day kindergarten the next year.
So like maybe the 4-year-olds, as they're getting ready to go to kindergarten the next year, they'll throw in some of that afternoon enrichment.
Exactly. Okay. And it's become actually very popular. And what's nice that we have some flexibility, that usually we have enough room that you can either be pre-registered, like I know I'm coming certain days, or just a drop-in. One of the parents has an appointment or something where they need it at the last minute, and we've been able to accommodate them.
Okay, so that flexibility is nice, because that isn't always, that's some of the tough part about being a parent when you're working around and moving around. So this might have some options for some flexibility then when you're talking about.
Yep, definitely, yep.
Well, and when we talk about young kids up through until kindergarten, you also have summer programs that extend a little farther, and you get a lot of those alums back to be counselors in training. So it's just a place for them to go and for mom and dad to know where they're going.
Yeah, exactly. Kids Camp is our summer program, and it's gone through some changes the last few years, again, as the area changes in our clientele. But we started 3-year-olds and go up to 9, and so, as you say, a lot of alum. Then we also have the CIT, which is counselor in training. So it's as long as you're 10 years old, whether you've had experience or not, come on in and you get some of the camp experience, but you also get some training, and you're in a classroom, you're working with either an older counselor or the teacher themselves. And then we have internships. It is unpaid, but it does give you an opportunity, first of all, to keep busy in the summer, especially if you think you'd like to work with children, and then also helping hands for us, and keeps our costs down also.
And kids get service hours and other things for that too.
Oh, exactly. Junior high, high school, and you don't have to be here all summer either. We're pretty flexible, whether it's the actual counselor or the campers themselves. It's a 10-week program, but we have just a 3-week minimum.
And when we talk about things like, we kind of touched on the philosophy a little. You said, for instance, preschool, it's that early learning, play-based, socialization kind of time. And the kids are learning things, but there's also a lot of time for them to learn to interact. Am I saying that correctly?
Oh, definitely. Whether it's the school year or the camp program, a lot of it, obviously, it's a whole child. And we'll have some parents coming in saying that, they're doing really well with their ABCs, but not so much playing with other kids. So social is a large part of that, being part of a church, the spiritual, but as I say, the whole child. And then with the play-based curriculum, you get all of that interspersed as they are having activities. So it works out. We feel that, of course, is the best way to approach it.
Yeah, well, and I was going to say some places are more drilling and things like that. You see play here, although it's purposeful play.
Definitely. I can give you all sorts of stats and information about that the play is their work, just like all of us going to a job, whether it's a teacher or an office or doctor, whatever, that is their work. And so it is very important. It might look simple, that they're not really doing anything, but they're obviously developing as they are interacting with that.
Well, it's been 25 great years. I mean, Vernon Hills has totally changed around that. Think how we've grown and how Deer Path neighborhood has grown and this program has grown. And I know you always love to hear from the alumni, so I know with the website, you could call, you could email, especially if you want to find out in case you didn't get one of the invitations. You're trying to piece it together, but if somebody needs an invitation, if they want to know more, website a good place?
Sure. Yes, we are wanting to reach out to everybody, and so our website, there's the church has a website with a link to the preschool specifically and Kids Camp. But as far as the fundraiser and our big anniversary, call the preschool, the church. We also have Facebook page. One of our teachers keeps that up and running, and all of the teachers take pictures and information about what's happening. Please check that out. And again, if you don't actually get an invitation, would like to join us, we'd love it, or stop by and say hi.
It's always good to catch up. It's like a team that you've been a part of, that even when your kids grow up, you're still part of the team.
Definitely. And we've been very fortunate. We have 2 teachers that are here from the first couple years of school that we started, and they are still here. My own daughter had them 20 years ago, and we're very proud of our staff. So yeah, please come and join us.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on 25 years. Best wishes to all the families, and have a great celebration.
Thank you for the opportunity.
The Village of Vernon Hills has reactivated the Skunk Abatement program. The program is designed to assist homeowners in providing financial reimbursement for those who choose to work with a licensed wildlife control company to remove skunks from their property. To be eligible, homeowners must enter into a contract for services with a licensed nuisance wildlife control operator, which includes the placement and monitoring of traps and the cost of skunk removal from the residential property. If a trap is set by the operator and a skunk is captured, the village will reimburse the homeowner up to a maximum of $75 for each skunk trapped. To request reimbursement, the homeowner must complete a reimbursement request form along with a copy of the contract and copy of the receipt. The program will run through December 31st, 2018. For more information or a reimbursement request form, visit www.vernonhills.org or call 847-918-3562. Well, that wraps up this edition of the Vernon Hills Update. If you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Stordo at 847-918-3560 or email mikes@vhills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.